Good morning, children. Welcome back to social session. Children, in the last session we tried to understand about the polar region and about the Eskimos. You remember what language do they speak? Inuit, Yupik. You remember those? Come on, let me take you to the kind of hunting and fishing activities they generally make during the summer and winter seasons because they depend upon the hunting for their food and fishing to live. Eskimos are highly skilled in these activities, and caribou hunting is essential in order to make them feed for more than 10 days. So caribou hunting is essential for nearly all Eskimo groups, and caribous are hunted in the inland during the summer season and early autumn. And it is in some places caribous are driven by rows of people into lakes or narrow streams where they are speared. You know spear? Spear. With the spear, they hit it, shot with bows and arrows, or even harpoon. I have shown you harpoon the other day. It's a tool through which they beat on the nostrils of the seal. So with the harpoons, they hit on the caribou head in order to hunt. And to the caribou, the stones look like people in the distance. So they put up piles of stones around the caribou that look like human beings to the caribou, and they can be turned. This caribou would turn away from the line of stones and be caught in the web which has been placed by these Eskimos. They have a technique. They are very skilled in attacking the caribou. For some groups, fishing is as important as hunting, and fish are netted in deep muddy waters or through the holes in the ice. They catch those fish. Sir, it's completely covered with ice. How will they fish? So it's in the months of summer when the water melts or when the upper layer is little sticky in those muddy water, they keep on catching. So they are generally catch this in the shallow and clear water at their weirs and low dams of stones. They are placed across the streams and they catch these fish. Fish are chased into their weir by people wading in the stream and or by caught by skilled hunters with 3 prolonged spears, and they catch it in such a fashion that it hits the eye of the fish. That accuracy will be there with these hunters, Eskimos. And Eskimos also use a barbless bone or hook on short lines to fish the edge of the ice in spring. And seals are also harpooned from the edges of ice floe and from kayaks. Kayaks are nothing but they are the small canoe-like boats made of animal skins stretched over a wooden frame. They can use it even for the karting. And coming to the food they eat, meat is their main dish. Meat, fat and fish make up a large part of Eskimos' diet because in order to bear the cold conditions there, meat is required to be eaten, and vegetables are very scarce. There are no plants growth at all, so vegetables are scarce. Food is not wasted even. That's the most important thing. We in this plateau region, we waste tropical conditions, we waste a lot of food. But Eskimos never waste the food. So, but the Eskimos depend on hunting and fishing. Hunger and even starvation are also common when fish and meat are not plentiful. Even they starve when it is not plentifully available. Meat and fish caught in summer is stored in shallow pits by them, and these pits are dug down to permafrost, and then again they cover it with big stones, with a pile of stones in order to keep it away from the wild animals, because even the wild animals will dig and find the food. So in order to store them under that one, it works as a refrigerator. Yeah, it's completely covered with the ice. So it works as a refrigerator. Isn't it? Whatever is left over today, we put it in the refrigerator, and next day morning again we heat it up and we eat. The same way, they have a natural refrigerator. They dig it into the permafrost and they put it there, and piles of stones they put it. This is how the summer food is stored and they can eat it during the months of winter. Wood for burning fires, for roasting or for baking is also scarce in most of the Eskimos area. Meat and fish are often eaten raw. Raw meat and raw fish are eaten mostly. Do you observe this one, Bear Grylls? Have you seen? Man versus wild. The other day Narendra Modi also has travelled with him. How he was eating? Raw fish it was. So in the same way, most of the Eskimos also will eat raw without cooking. Raw meat and raw fishes they eat, and fishes are frozen because it's a cold condition, and they even cut it into the strips, and those strips are dipped into the whale or seal oil, and some meat, especially meat from the large sea mammals, is eaten in a partly decayed state. Even they allow it to decay, and after decay state they eat. The tough meat becomes tender and easy to digest for them. For that reason they allow it to decay. If food is cooked, it is almost always boiled, and using the heat from oil lamps. And what kind of oil they get? The oil from the seals and the whale oil is used in burning the lamp. And even for cooking also they use the same kind of oil. And the Eskimo word igloo means shelter. Have you ever heard about igloo, children? Igloo means shelter. Shelter. So it can refer to any kind of a house, not really of dome shape. This is called as a dome shape. This is the dome shape. Not really of dome shaped. They are snow houses, are called as the igloos, and many people are associated with this word called as igloos. And in summer, most Eskimos live in tents made of animal skins. Tents. Okay, but those tents, we put the tents made up of cotton cloth, but those are the tents made up of animal skins. In western Alaska, very large winter tents are made by placing heavy walrus skins over wooden frames on the northern coast of Alaska. Dome-shaped houses are built of logs and whale ribs. These are the ribs. So on the whale ribs, they put a large animal hides, and they built tents. The dome is raised over a depression in the ground and is covered with frozen turf. Even they cover it with frozen turf. In Greenland, houses are built of stone slabs. Like our RCC concrete, they use stone slabs. And snow houses are used only in the eastern and central region. They are also made from blocks of packed snow, not ice, packed snow. They use it and built into a dome. Larger snow houses are also used as winter residences, and long tunnel entrances will provide storage space also inside these houses. And they open into the house below the floor level, like cellar. They get open into the cellar. The entrance tunnel opens into the house below the floor level. And some people in Tundra live throughout the year in permanent houses built with the wood and bricks. But it's very rarely. In most of the films also you find, isn't it, built with the wood and built with the bricks. In the rear half, rear means back. So rear half of the house and on both sides of the door, there are snow benches about 1 meter high, and the rear bench is covered with animal skins and is used for sleeping. It's a snow bench, and they cover it with a completely animal skin, which will be warm. So they use it for as a bed, and they also use it for bench of sitting. The side benches support racks for drying clothes and food supplies, and seal oil lamps are generally used to provide the light and heat inside the house. Sometimes two large snow houses are also joined together by tunnels, which is opened inside to the another house. Some snow houses are lined with seal skins. They are sewed together and they are suspended from the top of the dome. And coming to the clothes, they wear the animal skins, which they call it as parkas. The hooded jackets are called as parkas. They all are made up of animal skins, parkas. These are the hooded jackets which are used by the Eskimos. So there are differences in details of clothing for men and women. The man's parka has long flaps in front and behind. In winter, the Eskimos wear 2 layers of clothing. Caribou fawn skin is preferred in winter. Caribou, such a large animal, isn't it? So its skin is used in the winter to keep themselves soft and warm. Whereas the coastal groups use another kind of clothing where they prefer seal skin in late spring and summer season. It has the advantage of being waterproof. So the seal skin, because seals live in the water, so the skin is waterproof. They use that kind of thing, but it has a disadvantage of being very stiff. Okay, the skin will be very stiff, but flexibility you find in the parkas made with the caribou. and clothing is often embroidered and has decorative fringes and cutouts of different colored animal skins are pieced together to form patterns on the parkas. Even they decorate their parkas also as we decorate our dresses. And the Eskimos decorate tools and objects of everyday use. Such decoration makes people's possession very personal also. And bone, ivory, wood and soft stone called soapstone are used to make small figures of people and animals as well as weapons and tools of the user. In the Pacific and Far Eastern areas, the masks are made of carved wood and painted and decorated with feathers and animal skins. Tomorrow, let us learn about the religious beliefs, the recreation, and even about the contact with the outside world by these Eskimos. There is a large change that has occurred in the lifestyle of the Eskimos. Whatever we have read is of 80-90 years before they had come into contact with the present day civilized people. So now there is a lot of change occurred in their lifestyle. We shall see in the next class, children. Thank you.